Hey folks, welcome back. In this video, we're going to look at AWS's Trusted Advisor. Now, as I was talking or speaking to in the billing video, this is actually a really cool feature within AWS. This is like an automated best practice wizard. This is where you can leverage what Amazon considers to be best practices when deploying anything in the cloud, and be able to leverage this service to be able to come out and say, hey, how am I doing in the world today? Now, not everybody is going to have access to every option within the TA or Trusted Advisor. If you have the free or base support, what's going to happen is you will have 7 core services. So those 7 core services are going to consist of the S3 permissions. It's going to consist of your security groups. I'm just going to abbreviate here to just make it easy when you whiteboarding. You're going to have the IAM roles, and just really quick, even though we haven't gone into what IAM roles are, when you first sign up for an AWS account, you're obviously going to have your email address and password. That is what's considered your root account. So if you think of a Linux operating system, that original email address and password is going to be what's considered your root account. And just like you don't log into a Linux operating system using root, well, we do, but it's not recommended. You want to create sub-accounts. Even if those sub-accounts are full admin accounts and have root privileges, you want to be able to create those root accounts that are secondary so that your actual root account doesn't become compromised or broken or whatever. So your IAM roles are going to give you recommendations around how you should set that up and what you should do, right? So if you're logging in with your root account, you're probably going to get an error in this particular category. You're also going to get MFA. This is going to be multi-factor authentication. This is going to tell you, hey, you should download this app on your iPhone and be able to turn up multi-factor authentication. Then you're going to get your RDS and EBS public snapshots. What these are snapshots for these services that would be essentially public access. So you're going to be able to get some security you're going to be able to get some security recommendations around that. And then the last one is going to be your service limits. Okay, so these are going to be your 7 categories of, or I should say your 7 services, and you can see that some of them are flat out. So for example, you have your service limits here. Primarily, all of your core services are going to be in the security group. So all of these here are going to be in the security group of Trusted Advisor. And then the last one you're going to get is the service limits here. But you can come here to AWS, you can come to this page here, you can see the URL, and you can just scroll down and you can read through what all of them are. These are going to be based on your support agreement. So as you scroll down, you may see some that are free. So for example, here are the security groups. That's one of the ones I mentioned before. You'll see here that this is clearly free. Same thing here, your IAM use, your S3 buckets, your multi-factor authentication. If I scroll down here, you'll see the public access at some point being free. So here's your snapshot for public snapshots for RDS and EBS. And again, this tells you exactly what it is. If any of those snapshots are marked public, you're going to get some security recommendations around those because those are essentially databases and things like that for your RDS. And then you'll come down here to your service limits all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see what service limits you're going to get or what recommendations around that. So let me head over to my account, and I'm going to show you what the Trusted Advisor actually looks like. So what I'm going to do is logged into my account, I'm going to come up to the Trusted feature. It's Trusted. I'm going to come up to the search window, and I'm just going to type the word Trust. You can see here that one of the options here is Trusted Advisor. So I'll go ahead and select that. And what's going to happen is I'll come to my Trusted Advisor dashboard. Now, again, keep in mind that if you're on a base support agreement, you're only going to get security and you're going to get service limits. You're not going to be able to go into fault tolerance, performance, or cost optimization. Now, if you're lazy, you can click on either one of these. Typically, that's what I do, but I want to make this video just a tad longer and waste a little bit more time, so we'll go over to the left. And we'll say cost optimization. When you click on each one of these, it's going to give you a breakdown of that category. So if you look here, I have 12 that are in the green. I have one that's a recommendation. It's something that I probably should investigate. And then I have no immediate actions. So if I click this arrow here, it's going to tell me that I have some low utilization on my EC2 instances. So it tells me that right now I'm using 2% of the CPU, I'm using 1.9% of the CPU. And if you look at this load sim, it may be too small for you folks to see it when the video comes out, but this load simulator machine I'm spending $11 on a month. And so it's one of those things where, well, maybe I don't want to spend $11 on that. Maybe I want to save some money. Same thing with performance. You can click on any one of these performance options, see how you're doing. The security one, I think, is always a big one. Let me just click here and show you the restricted access. So I'm getting an alarm here because I have a management group. When I was setting up my web application for demos and this video series, etc., I was really lazy about it, and I set up a management security group that allowed me to remote desktop and SSH from anywhere. So anywhere in the world, doesn't matter where you are, and allowed me to remote connect into my web servers. Obviously, that's a big no-no, right? Even though we're securing these instances with an SSH key, if that SSH key was ever compromised, if somebody ever was able to get my SSH key, that I am dumb enough to upload on GitHub or something dumb like that, they would have access to my web application. So what's happening here is that Trusted Advisor is saying, hey, this is not a good idea. Same thing with your specified ports. So it's letting me know the same group. It's letting me know that I have the same exact management group applied to some instances, and I need to go and take care of that. So Trusted Advisor is where I can go and I can essentially use this. It's not even a wizard. It's just looking at how we're doing. Here's that root account that I was mentioning before, the fact that I don't have MFA enabled on my root account. So now I'm showing all you attackers out there how bad my account is and how you should try to compromise it. But this is what Trust Advisor does for you, and it's a pretty neat feature. So again, keep in mind that it is part of your support agreement, and this should probably influence what support tier you want to have. So this is Trusted Advisor. Hope you guys enjoy poking around.